Zootopia 2 is directed by Jared Bush and Byron Howard, starring Jennifer Goodwin as Judy Hopps, Jason Bateman as Nick Wilde, Fortune Funster as Nipple Maplestick, Ki Hui Kwan as Gary the Snake, Andy Samberg as Howard Lindsley, David Stratton as Milton Lindsley, Macaulay Culkin as Patrick Lindsley, Brenda Song as Kitty Lindsley, Shakira as Gazelle, Idris Elba as Chief Bogo, and many more. The duo Judy Hopps and Jake Wilde are back now to solve a crime about smuggling and then the smuggling crime. When they are trying to catch the perpetrator, they find the snake. Apparently, in Zootopia, snakes are forbidden. Nobody knows why, but they are just hated. And Judy finds a snake, so she is after it. And then eventually we find out that the snake is not a bad guy, they are just misunderstood. And then we go into this whole chase of getting the snake back into Zootopia and giving them equal respect, equal acceptance, and equal opportunities. I don't know. So that's the story of Zootopia 2. So the initial part of the story was a little bit boring, I would say. When Judy Hopps and Jake Wilde are following this thief, this smuggler, the anteater, and they are like after him and they try to catch him, and there is a whole chase scene happening and a lot of things happening. All that was cool. The animation is obviously it's a Disney movie, so the animation is top notch. There is so many little things happening all the time, and you can see that all the animators were giving their best into all the animation shots they were given to do the animation. They were putting their own creative side into it, so every single shot has something fun happening, and that was amazing. That was really interesting. But again, story wise, it felt a little slow in the beginning. I'm like, where is this going? Okay, there is this smuggler who is they are after him, but they are not able to catch him. But then Judy Hopps finds a snake skin, and then she's like interested, and that's when we know that snakes are not allowed. They are kind of forbidden here, and everyone knows that in Zootopia, and Judy Hopps knows that too. So she's like after, like, how dare this snake come over here when they are not allowed? And she goes through that trail, and she finds the snake, and then we realize that the snake is not that bad. All to that point, things were okayish. I was like, okay, this is happening. I watched this movie in IMAX, by the way, and despite being in IMAX, the initial part was kind of boring. But by the end of the first act, things just switch. There is a whole different emotional impact that shows up right at the start of the second half, and that latched me on to the story. Pay good attention to it because it coincides really closely with our real world, and Disney kind of does that most of the time. They try to put or include real world elements from from what's happening around here into their movies, and Zootopia 2 does that too. Yeah, so try to pay a good attention, because when that happens at the beginning of the second half, story gets so interesting, and it attaches you emotionally so closely that, yeah, you will be all hooked emotionally with the characters. And don't want to give you guys spoilers, but it is really well made. Apart from the first act, which was kind of boring, the story was kind of like trying to go to the point where they find the snake, and then the story starts. So that part was boring, but after that it was just uphill. Like, it was just the best. A lot of characters are there in the movie, and almost all of them has this character arc. Like Judy Hopps, she is honestly, I don't think Judy Hopps has any character arc. Like, she really wanted to help someone, and she manages to do that. She does not want to lose her friendship, and she manages to do that too. So
it felt like Judy Hopps didn't had much of a character arc. She kind of stays the same, even though she says like, oh, she's going through childhood traumas and all that, but she stays the same. The major character arc is with Nick Wilde, played by Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman's character has a really nice character arc. He is very much thinking about himself right from the start. He doesn't think about anybody else. Even when he is in trouble or his partner is in trouble, he's like very chill. He's like, yeah, I don't care. It's okay. I mean, he tries to protect his partner and he never leaves her side. But most of the time, he's like, I don't care. I don't care why we are saving the snake guy. I don't care why we are doing this. I don't care why we are doing that. We are happy just goofing around, patrolling the area. That's what I want to do. Let's just chill. Let's not take other people's, bullshit onto us. And that's his character. And then he starts taking then he starts taking responsibility of other people onto himself, and that's his character arc. Like he goes from being selfish to being selfless. And yeah, I really like that character. I really like a character who are like really isolated and really doesn't care about anybody into caring about people. I really enjoy that kind of character arc. So yeah, I really, that's my favorite character, Nick Wilde. That's the best character in my opinion. There are other characters too. There is one character played by Andy Samberg, forgot his name, Paubert Linksley, and his character has some kind of a character arc, but it does not. It looks like it's gonna have. It has an. I don't want to speak any spoilers, but it has a weird arc to him, and we have seen this kind of character arcs before. So yeah, it's very interesting. I really like that. It shows like it's up to you what part of the life you want to go to. Like you can choose a good life or you can choose the bad life. It's up to you. What choice do you make? So his character arc is kind of like that, and it's very interesting. And you guys should check it out. Yeah, it's really interesting. Gary the Snake, despite being one of the central figures in the movie, he does not look like he has a character arc. His character has a reflection of being a villain to being a nice guy, to being someone who is helpless. So his appearance kind of changes. His character does not change as much. But whatever changes, it's really interesting. It is very easy to connect to his character. Despite having not much of a character arc, the way his appearance changes, the way his narrative changes throughout the film is the most interesting.
Spoilers ahead.
The world of the story is kind of the same, but we extend the world a little bit more to include the snake world. Because right after the snakes have been, banished from the Zootopia, their world outside is dying by itself. And these people, the snake people, are the one who has made a technology that brings all different kind of weathers for all different kind of animals in the city of Zootopia. Like if you have seen the first movie, we have the snowy weather, and then opposite of the snowy weather we have the desert, and then we have the rainfall weather, and then there is something else. So there is a technology that is made to let this people from Zootopia coexist, and that technology, spoiler alert, belongs to the snake. And snake people were the ones who wanted all these people to come together, all these different animals to come together. But because of this villains, this protagonist, what's his name? Milton Linksley. Because of this guy, he banished the snake people. He made a whole, spoiled their name or defamed their name into the society. So now everyone hates snake people. And whatever profit that was supposed to be going to the snake people for this invention, for this weather related invention, it went to this guy, Milton Linksley. And that's the story. Like that's what we are fighting. We are fighting this Milton Kingsley guy to get the snake people what they deserve and invite them back into the society. The jeopardy of this movie is that Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde is kind of splitting apart. We see their friendship really strong right in the beginning of the film, because the last film they solved this big case and they are like really best pals now. They are partners and they are really, doing really good in their friendship. But as we go into the story, we start seeing the differences between Nick Wilde's character and Judy Hopps' character. Judy Hopps is like more like trying to save, trying to protect everybody, and thinking about other people than herself. And Nick is more like thinking about himself. He is like, I don't care about anybody. I want to think about myself. And we see a little bit of that in the beginning. We see a little bit of that in the first half, and we realize this difference in between their friendship. And then at the center, like at the beginning of the second half of the story, we see their friendship kind of split apart. And it happened at the crucial time when we start getting emotionally invested to the characters. That's when the friendship split apart, and I'm like, I don't like this. I want you guys to stay together. This is the crucial moment now. You guys work together, but it doesn't happen that way, and it is sad. But I mean, eventually they do end up getting back together, becoming partners again. But yeah, that happens, and that was like really good. I really like that. So the jeopardy of the film is that while we are solving this mystery and giving a solution for the snake guy, we are also trying to make sure that the two central characters, Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, are together and they are partners and they are friends. So their friendship, as more they are going towards solving this issue, the friendship is growing apart, and that's what we don't want, and we want them to come together. And in the end, it is, I mean, they are the main characters, so obviously they are going to come together. So the way they come together is very much, I would say, satisfying. It is really satisfying. There is one scene in the end where Nick and Judy is like face to face and finally like talking to each other and talking about their traumas, and they stare at each other, and then Nick goes on like a tape recorder. He starts saying stuff like, I'm so sorry, I have been long childhood traumas, and that's why I have a very abundant personality, and blah blah blah, this and that. And then Judy says the same thing, like, I have been through some of my own childhood traumas, and I have been isolated all my life, and I want to bring people together, I want to bring people with me. And they say all these things, and then they get back together, and it's just really hilarious. And it felt like the movie is made for children, but it's more about the adult stuff. And I think like Disney and Pixar kind of does this kind of things where they make movies for kids, but the story, the concept is very much made for adults. And I don't mind that. I mean, I like that. So yeah, I really like this movie. I mean, it was really good. One thing that I was really impressed by Disney this time is that they did not put any they them related stuff, no non-binary related stuff. There is one scene where Nick, I believe, he says stuff like, oh, is this a guy or a girl? Or he misgenders someone. He says, oh, so that, yeah, I asked that guy, and Judy is like, oh, it's a girl. And he goes, oh, it's really hard to tell that with beavers or something like that. But there was only two genders. There was no third gender. And I like that. I like that Disney did that. They didn't do another thing. You know what I mean? So I was really happy. I feel like if Disney keeps this up, people will start liking Disney again. I believe people who made Zootopia 2, they really love the craft, the craft of animation, and they really love the story, and the story is beautiful. And the entire structure of making this whole film come together, it includes modeling, lighting, texturing, environment, atmosphere, animation, voice acting, everything. So all these artists really love what they do, and Disney is a big platform for that. And in the end of the film, you see Disney is celebrating itself, that it's coming back together to what it used to be. And it felt like that to me as a viewer. When the movie ended, I just sat there and I was just watching the end credits. And after the end credits ended, Disney played that Mickey Mouse, that video where Mickey Mouse is driving a boat and there's a Disney logo happening up above Mickey Mouse. That, and then there is another logo started playing, and then there is another logo started playing. All Disney logos, but it looked like Disney, the staff who worked on this film, was really celebrating Disney. They were like thankful to Disney to let them make the film just the way they wanted. Overall, I really like this movie. I really wish Disney just keeps doing stuff like this. So I really like this movie. I really, really, really recommend this movie to everyone. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.